And welcome to another episode of the Oracle Scroll, Tarot by Kevin Walder, and just kevinwalder.com. We're going to lump them everything together. I tried to decide if I wanted to start a new channel or do something that combined everything. I think combining everything, that way it's available to everyone. So, thanks for joining us today, and we're glad to have you, and we hope to bring some new information or some maybe a little different way of looking at things. And we all could use that right now because we have a lot going on in our world, and it needs our attention, and yet we need to not become overwhelmed by it and find our way through it. So when I look, and I talked about this a little bit before, in my work with the tarot, one of the cards which jumped right out at me as being pertinent to this year was the Devil card. The Devil asks us to re-examine all of our beliefs. And I always add that especially we want to re-examine those beliefs that we are absolutely positive that they're true. We're absolutely sure of them. The devil speaks to us about releasing things that hold us back, prevent us from true spiritual growth. These are beliefs that are instilled in us from birth by parents, early schooling, peers, church, and more recently, social media. That urge to fit in is very strong in us humans. These are the limiting beliefs which keep us in a constant repeating pattern of war, violence, exclusion, bigotry, hatred. The system serves to keep us becoming more and more angry with anyone that we don't understand, never noticing that those who profit from the suffering of others, yeah, they're out there. I like the Devil card with its mirror-like reflection of our true selves. We can begin to uncover some of those old thought patterns, some of which we may not even have realized were still there. We may have kind of pushed them so far back. We have been told many lies about our fellow humans. We've been taught that skin color can make one less human and thus unworthy of justice or compassion. We've been taught that marginalized communities deserve their plight because, well, that's what God said they deserve. We've been taught that if your addiction can be successfully concealed, then you are a superior being. I recently commented on a social media post and was told in a reply that I should not use the words we and us because not everyone is like this. Well, that's true. Not everyone is like this. 99.999% of us are like this, so I firmly disagree with that assessment. Exceptions, yes, they're certainly going to be found. But by and large, humans as a group fall into two categories. Those who perpetrate hatred and ignorance, and those who are just too busy bystanding to get involved. Both camps, both groups share an equal responsibility. And I'm including myself in that latter group. It's too easy to put it off. It's too easy to assume someone else will do it. It's too easy to assume that we're not needed in the fight. So, when we're working with that energy of the devil, it can be challenging. Sometimes it can be downright painful because letting go of cherished beliefs asks us to adjust our attitudes, and not just a little bit adjusting, but completely overhauling our attitudes. It can be, I kind of liken it to rewiring a home. There's going to be some messy situations, some dust and a whole lot of inconvenience, maybe even some tears. But imagine how comforting and fulfilling gaining a new perspective will be when we finally get there. The Devil card also serves to remind us that we are each responsible for our own beliefs and responses, and our world and those who populate it. We don't get to blame anything on the devil anymore. The devil didn't make us do it because we have the control. When I talk about the devil, I often refer to this card as your own personal devil, because it truly is personal. Just as each of us is a unique individual, so the devil energy in our lives is unique to each of us individually. Unfortunately, even in our spiritual community, we run into people who will judge our worthiness on the basis of gender, appearance, or even our spiritual gifts or our spiritual path, whatever we may have as part of our repertoire. We certainly can't expect to follow every spiritual path or possess every spiritual gift that's out there. But we absolutely can extend our encouragement to everyone to follow their own path, celebrate their own gifts. And you know what? Just because we don't understand it doesn't make it an evil or something to be avoided. It doesn't make it anything of the sort. So rather than resorting to fear and hatred, what if we set aside those judgmental assessments? What if we just reached out to help our fellow humans? How would simply refusing to accept what a lot of people would like us to believe, how would that enhance our own existence? How would our lives be simplified by refusing to judge anyone without first understanding them thoroughly? So, as we each prepare for the upcoming harvest and the rest of this year, let's keep minds and hearts open to allow everyone the opportunity to live their truth to the fullest. Each time we feel a revulsion or we feel angry because we met some new situation or a new person and we just didn't click, that judgment is really fear expressing through us. And we will limit our harvest by giving in to it. Fear has no place in our world as we go forward. So, it's our choice. Do we want to remain in fear, reaping that miserable harvest? Or do we want to let go of our expectations, adjust our sights, so that we can have a harvest of hope and a harvest of compassion? I thank you very much for joining me today. My name is Kevin Walder, and I hope to see you often at one of our events here online. Please contact me at kevinwalder.com. That's my website. You can also reach me at theoraclesscroll@gmail.com. That's an email address for us. So thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.